Hi, uh, this video is the first in a playlist dedicated for total beginners in 3D Studio Max, those who never used it. And in this first video, in this playlist, I will not be talking about any tools. Uh, we will do that in the other videos. I just like to talk about some basic concepts. Um, and what I want to talk about here is that, like, let's say, Lego game, you have the smallest piece, the smallest unit, the piece that when you put many next to each other, you can create many shapes by placing them in different ways. But this is the smallest piece. Also, like in any photo, any raster photo, raster images means that photos like JPEG or PNG or TIFF, they are made of pixels. In a photo like this, the smallest piece, if I zoom in, the smallest piece is this rectangle called pixel. It contains only one color, and by placing many pixels next to each other, different pixels with different colors, I can create this raster image, this photo. In 3D Studio Max, we also have the smallest piece. This piece is called polygon or face. Uh, don't worry about what I'm doing here, how I'm orbiting or moving around. We will see that in the other videos. Here we'll just do some talking. Uh, this polygon, all of these are polygons. A polygon can have a minimum segments. These edges are, we call them also segments. A polygon has a minimum of 3 because it has to be closed, so it cannot have less than 3. It can have 4 edges, 4 segments, 8, what, 1000, whatever, as much as you like. And any 3D object is made of polygons placed next to each other. Uh, Also, sometimes you see very complex shapes like human bodies or things like that, with lots of curvatures. Uh, you have to understand that there is no curves, basically. Curved objects are made of straight polygons placed next to each other on an angle. Uh, this leads us to a property of a face. A face cannot be bent. A face, a polygon, is always straight. Uh, there is some objects hidden in this scene. I will unhide them. Right click, unhide all. Uh, as you can see, for example, this teapot, it's curvy. If I zoom in, I can see those polygons. If I zoom in, I see that they are straight. They are placed next to each other on an angle to form this curvy shape. Same thing for this sphere. If I zoom in, I can see that the polygons are straight. Uh, Finally, I'm gonna show something to prove this thing, to prove this point, an additional proof. I will select all and hide. Don't worry, we will learn about all these commands. You can just watch. I will create a box. Click, drag, click. This box has 6 polygons. This is first, second, third. It has 6 faces. I will go to modify panel while it's selected. From the list, I'm gonna choose a tool called bend. Now this tool, its job is to bend the object, and this parameter here controls the amount of bend. So I will try to bend the object now. This yellow thing here is called gizmo. If you click here, you'll see this is the gizmo. It represents the functionality of this tool. It is showing us what the tool is trying to do with the object. Now, obviously, it's not working. The box is not taking this form, is not bending. And the reason why is that here we have one polygon. And here we have one polygon. The tool is trying to bend one polygon, but a polygon cannot be bent. I will go down to the box object, and I will show you. I can increase the number of polygons. Instead of having one here, I can have more. This thing here called this parameter height segments controls how many polygons I have in the vertical direction. Now I have one, which is this, and this, and this, and this. So I will increase this value to, let's say, 2. As you can see, immediately the bend modifier is starting to affect the object. The object is starting to bend, even though it is rough, because the bend is made of sorry, is the band is made of 2 polygons, so it's very rough. If I go back to bend gizmo, I can see that, well, it is starting to bend. I will go back to box, increase the height segments to 3. Now the bend is becoming better. 4, 5, 6. Now it's becoming very smooth, and if I go to bend gizmo to check out, now I can see that the object is filling the gizmo. So this, just to prove the point that I was trying to make, as you can see here, they are just straight polygons. Anytime you see a very complex shape like human body or anything, it is simply straight polygons placed next to each other. And 3D Studio Max is this tool that helps you, that has hundreds and thousands of tools to help you create and place these polygons next to each other in the different ways to create different types of objects. If I create, let's say, a shape, a 2D object here in shapes, a circle, if I look at it in the top view, you can see that a 2D shape also is made of straight segments. So everything is made of straight small objects placed next to each other. Okay, and I think this is enough for this video. In the next video we will start to learn about different commands. We will start about some basics, and thank you for watching.